Hey, hey. All right, guys. So with that being the supermoon, it means we should also have an enhanced message because the moon is bigger, everything is closer. There could be a bigger, more meaningful energy here. Okay. Somebody may be really giving time to think about what they need to write, what they need to say. Sometimes writing things out is one of the best ways to contemplate what do we really mean. Also, to see what kind of emotions we're still carrying. When we write something and then step away from it, my rule of thumb is if we're going to write something out that we want to say to somebody, write it down first, leave it alone for 3 days, come back and reread it, and then see how does it really read. Because I always feel like after 3 days, I can read something as if it wasn't me who wrote it, and then I can clearly see, like, does it sound pompous, does it sound controlling, does it sound just like I'm whining, does it sound like I'm saying exactly what I mean, am I conveying the fact that, maybe I still sound frustrated, but on the other hand, does it also come across with love, does it come across with, trying to be fair and balanced, or am I just ranting? You have to evaluate where you're coming from, and sometimes the best way I think to do that is to be able to write it down and then reread it after you've been away from it long enough that you almost forgot it was your hand that wrote it. That's what I would say, because the birds are migratory and we see them returning. We see her carrying this letter as if she's going to send it, but we see the rose in the other hand. She has something huge to say. Maybe this is somebody who's going to be releasing something. Maybe this is someone who's about to send a goodbye letter. Maybe they want to clear something up, or maybe they actually want to reconcile with someone. The bottom line is, right now, for this moon message, there is a desire to communicate. Oh, and we have the Hierophant in the upright, which says someone wants to cross that bridge to the other side, or they want to create a bridge. Their higher self knows that they want to do this. The only thing is, we don't see the face of the individual. I think this is signifying, if our character is going to send out a message, they can't do it with the intention that I need them to respond this way. I want this person to say the words that I need to hear in response. If our character is going to send any kind of a message, it has to simply be, I'm taking this action because from my soul, my higher self, I'm guided to do this. It's not because I have expectation of any response in return. This is an act of, I loved this person. I still send them love no matter what else has happened. This is not a letter of recrimination and like, you did this, you did that, but I'm the bigger person, so I still love you and I send you on with good emotions. No, I think this is going to be much more. It's just about this character. It's not about shame, but I still love you. It's not that. This is an action somebody is taking because they themselves need to say, this is a bridge I have to cross. My higher self says, taking away everything other than what I personally have control over, which is my own emotions. How do I feel about something? Now, this could be a person who is writing a letter that they'll never send to somebody. They just need to write it down. The act of putting it out there, the act of simmering down and distilling something to the ultimate truth, which is, my higher self tells me I actually love this person. That's it. It's not about what happened, what didn't happen. It's that I love this person. And I can't deny that. And I'm not going to. It is still the truth. It is what it is. That, we have a 3 of Cups and we have a 3 of Swords. I think that this person writes this letter. I don't know that they send it. Although it is in an envelope, like it's going to be sent. If they do this, it is not to try to get anything out of it, but they are, I almost think that they're saying, I'm sure that this person has moved on. I'm sure that they have, or I'm sure that I probably will have to after I've sent this, but I hope that the heartbreak is something that is released, or I hope that whatever wounds I might have caused them, I hope that those things can be resolved. In my heart of hearts, I know that this has hurt me because my higher self tells me I really loved this character. I really loved this person. That's the way I would interpret this message. but it's all coming from one person's perspective on, I just need to do this for me, not because I need to think about what they're up to, where they're at. If anything, I could be saying, and I just need to wish this person happiness, even if there's still a part of me that I still carry a wound because I wish it had been us. I wish it had been me. I want to wish them well. I don't need to tell them necessarily, like, I want you to be happy without me. This isn't this act of this person trying to be the bigger person and doing that movie quality thing where, in movies, everybody always has the perfect tagline to say. They always have the that, quippy little thing. This is not like that. This is somebody who's genuinely saying, if I really loved someone, then I have to be able to wish them happiness in their life elsewhere, not necessarily with me, because maybe maybe I'm the one who got brokenhearted, but I still, in my heart of hearts, do I carry bitterness, or do I say, universe, let them find happiness, and I too need to move on and find happiness. If I'm really honestly going to say that I loved someone, then I think that I have to act in love, not in frustration, not in, holding on to wounded energy, but letting the hope for happiness be stronger than the memory of the hurt. That's a big thing to have to do. It's a huge thing to have to do. Anyone who's been devastated before knows that takes a long time to get there. I think it's I would say that hurt energy is it's I would say it takes more, like more amounts of love to undo hurt, and not equal amounts, but more amounts of love in order to undo hurt. Almost like, if you've ever had like a swimming pool and you have to put chemicals in it to keep the pool clean, but if you ever put in too much, the volume of water you would have to add to level that out is like huge amounts. Like that's kind of what I'm looking at this as. Is it would take huge amounts of love to combat this. And I think that our character is recognizing that. I think that they are trying really hard to acknowledge this maybe was one of the toughest things in my life, but I still have to be able to, I don't want to live in this place of pain. So that means I have to go ahead and focus on the love. Now, what's interesting is that we have a completely different character over here with the Five of Cups. Somebody is equally as devastated here. They stand there and they're kind of at a loss. This is, they're standing here with this map, but they're not even sure of where to go. This wasn't the way it was supposed to be. This wasn't the roadmap that they were supposed to follow. Sorry, I'm my eyeball is itching. This wasn't the way it was supposed to go. This person over here is devastated. Our two people, oh my God. This is an emperor whose heart is howling. Here's what I think. I think we need to get these two back together. What the heck? We have all this hurt, trying to release somebody. So we have a feminine trying to release someone. Feminine, masculine, doesn't matter about gender, but I'm going to say divine feminine here, who's trying so hard to, find their innermost divinity, to rise above something as big a stumbling block as a heartbreak is, to try to wish somebody well in their heart of hearts, to try to take some kind of action to wish somebody well, even though they're mostly like drowning in heartbreak. But they still say, I have to do this because that's what you do when you actually love somebody. You do let them go, and you do want them to be happy someplace else, no matter what. However, the other character is here, possibly a divine masculine, since we do see an emperor, and they are like brokenhearted. They are miserable. They're not living in their castle. It's like they start walking out of their castle saying, something has to change. I have to fix things, probably with their feminine. And then they don't quite know what to do. How do I do this? And it's just they kind of like, there's this element of confusion and inertia and just downright dismal So neither person is happy about what's happened at all. And in fact, they seem to be like roaring their pain right now. This is an emperor in a lot of pain. But here's the thing, an emperor typically is the person who has to put action into something. Normally, they're the ones that would take control. And I don't mean the man has to take control. We may not be talking about a man at all just because it's an emperor, but it is divine masculine energy, which is the yang energy. It's the energy of the sun. It's the forward action taking energy. The world, the Six of Wands in the reverse. This is one of those things where it's like two people are sitting here in this moment saying the biggest message that comes across is how utterly wrong this situation has been, and how moving forward, saying, I guess we'll never love again, I guess we're apart, I guess there's no way back to each other, makes them both feel utterly and completely defeated. Like the idea for both of these people, the idea that this is over does not make them feel like, okay, yeah, that's totally time to let it go. This storyline says the biggest message is, of course you can move on, but it doesn't feel right. In this story, this is, please remember, these are fictional stories. I'm not telling anybody what to do or how to do life or anything like that. But in these stories, what we see is if they both feel this defeated at the prospect of moving on, I almost think they both feel defeated at the idea that their person is going to end up with somebody else someday. I think that thought process is like, this is not something that I can comfortably entertain the idea of that happening. That's good because we got an Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands, we have these characters that need to actually take action. They need to communicate. If there has been, look, I don't know what happened before. I don't know why these two have not communicated. I don't know why they both have been sitting over in their private little corners, feeling the devastation of this being over and saying, I just have to let this go. And they both clearly don't want to, and they both clearly feel like this is wrong. Walking away is wrong. It no longer matters what even happened. The only thing that matters is how wrong it feels to be letting this go. They both feel devastated at the concept. You mean I'll never talk to that person again? I'll never see them again. This is where we part ways. That doesn't feel right to either one of them. So the remedy for this, yeah, is freaking talk. Eight of Wands, communicate. Star card, heal it. 10 of Discs, put the energy in both people. But there has to be, if it's this dismal a thing to think that it's over and they'll never speak again, who said it had to be over? I mean, that's the ultimate question there. Who said that it needs to be done and over? If neither person feels right, sometimes we can act like, obviously this is what needs to happen. And yet we both know that that's not right. And sometimes, hopefully all the time, when we get a direct message from one's higher self that says, I know everything says it's supposed to be done. Logically, this didn't work. Logically, this is supposed to be over. But my soul disagrees. Hopefully every character goes with what their soul says and not with what their logic says, only because it appears that neither person is going to be satisfied with this. Only problem is they keep delaying. They both want to talk. They both want to communicate. They both want to heal this. And then we have the Hanged Man. All right, come on, universe. Get these two out of this stuck energy, would you? Boy of Swords. We've got this. Somebody has been spying on the other, possibly the divine masculine, only because that is a Page of Swords called the Boy of Swords. Doesn't have to be. Boy of Cups. We've got, I'm not sure why it keeps looking like it's all on the shoulders of possibly of that emperor. It doesn't have to be. It's just the way I'm reading it, because we keep seeing like one person is really focusing on the other, really wants to reach out to the other, maybe make an apology. Nine of Wands in the reverse, Woman of Discs. That's a Queen of Pentacles. I feel like our divine feminine she's been defeated. And she simply is turning her attention to other things in her life. Remember, we started out with the divine feminine is at that point where she's saying, I just have to let him go. I have to let him go with love. I have to, let that go off of my heart. And that's all I can do. She is coming across as the defeated individual, which might be why there will be no movement on her part other than that release. Whereas on their part, they're the ones who have to take action, is what this seems like to me. They may be becoming aware of it. Like this really did crush her somehow. 8 of discs, 8 of pentacles. Somebody's got to do the work, put in the effort. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think it's on their side. I'm going to leave this one here. This might be an alternate. I don't know. That was kind of a heavy one.